So today is block day. We already looked at questions from 1 through 3. Now we'll do the notes. And again, no more notes after that. Friday we'll review. Monday we'll review. Tuesday I'll see this class, but not all the classes. No, I won't see this class because it's ACT test day. But I'm not worried because we still have 2 review days, and I don't think this is a very difficult unit, so we'll be fine. And then next Friday I'll be out. It's catch-up day, meaning bring something to do. Bring something to put your catch-up on. All right, notes 4. Last notes of the 9 weeks. How exciting. 3/4 of the way through the school year, sort of. That's right. Writing equations of conic sections. You've kind of done this already, but this is just a review of circles, ellipses, and hyperbolas. Okay, write an equation for a circle with radius 16 and center -3, -6. So x plus 3 squared, y plus 6 squared. Oh, this is baiting us to make a mistake. What goes in the on the other side of that equation? What goes in on the other side of that equation? 16 squared, not 4. So they're trying to bait you into putting 4 there, but 16 squared is 256. Number 2, write an equation for an ellipse with center of -5, 7. So I can kind of start already because x is always first for an ellipse. X plus 5 squared over something plus y minus 7 squared over something equals 1. Horizontal, major axis, length 12. I guess a lot of information in a few words there. Horizontal, left, right, x's. Major meaning longer, axis of length 12. So what does A equal? 6. All right, so it's 12 all the way, but that means it's 6 from center to vertex. All right, so it's 12 all the way across, but what we need for our equation is 6. And since it said horizontal, left, right, we'll put 36 under the x stuff. Vertical minor, so just shorter, axis of length 6, which means that distance is 3, so 9 goes under the y stuff. There's nothing new today, it's just using the things we know in a little bit different way, making sure we understand it well enough to really manipulate things. Number 3, write an equation for an ellipse with a vertical major axis of length 10. Oh, they really like trying to throw us off with that length 10 business. So A is 5. And foci of -2, -2 plus or minus square root of 21. Okay, well I can grab the center off of that really easily, 2, -2. So x minus 2 squared over something plus y plus 2 squared over something equals 1. The x stuff is always first for an ellipse. Because what matters is not who's first, what matters is who's bigger. Speaking of who's bigger, vertical major, up and down, longer, so y is bigger. And if A is 5, what goes under the y squared? 25. Okay, next I need to know B, because B squared goes under x squared. I don't have B, but what is this? Well, careful, that's C. So C squared is 21. because distance from center to focus is c. So let's see, 21 equals a squared. Just remember it this way. The sign for the c is different than the main sign. So c squared minus b squared, or a squared minus b squared. Wait, that's not, oh yeah, that's going to work. So 25 minus 4 would be 21. So b squared equals 4. B equals 2, but I don't really need that because what goes underneath the x squared is b squared, so 4. Why don't you try number 4? Nothing new, but can you piece together all the things you know about a hyperbola? Do you know it well enough to manipulate everything to get the right answer? Number 5. An ellipse has a major axis of length 10. Major, longest. So A is 5. Foci of 3, 8, and negative 5, 8. 3, 8, negative 5, 8. Again, I don't have to sketch it, but when I sketch it, I can immediately see that this is a left-right ellipse. X always comes first for an ellipse. Let's see, if A is 5, then 25 goes under the left-right one. The center would be right in between there. Y value would definitely be 8. And then in between 3 and negative 5 would be negative 1. So x plus 1, y minus 8. And what do I need to know? The length? What is the length of the minor axis? Oh, well, I was writing the equation, but they're very much related because once I figure out what goes there, that'll be very much related to the minor axis. A is 5. What else do I know? Oh, C. So what's C equal to? That distance from center to focus is 4. So C squared equals A squared minus B squared for an ellipse. Again, I just remember that the sign is opposite of the main sign.
How did you get A equals 5?
The major axis is 10. That's all the way across, so half of it's 5. So A squared is 25. B squared is what we're looking for. So 25 minus 16 is 9. Which means B is 3. So that distance is 3, but what was it asking here? The length of the minor axis is 6. All the way across would be 6. Again, they're just putting all these things together. 6, I feel like this should be easy. What's A? I'm sorry, what was A? You looked at the coefficients and said, the coefficients match, it's a circle. No, there's a minus sign in there. That means that when you did that hyperbola, the box would be a square, but it's still a hyperbola because of the minus sign. What about B? You guys eager to answer circle? It's a circle. Because we got a plus sign and the coefficients are equal, so that's a circle. For C, we got a plus sign, but they're different, so it's going to be squished out one way or the other. Oh, D is what fooled you the first time. Hyperbola. Why a hyperbola? This is negative. E, plus, but we got to check the coordinates or the coefficients. Circle. F looks weird, I guess, because there's a negative out front. Well, the x squared is negative, the y squared is positive. So what's that mean? They have different signs. It's like it's just out of order. So it's a hyperbola. They have different signs. Speaking of signs, G, they're both negative. Why a circle? You're right.
Because if they're both negative and then they both have the same coefficients.
Yeah, or I could just multiply through by -1 and then it's a circle. Because they're the same and they have the same signs. Let's see, H, both negative, but different signs. So that would be an ellipse. Because the 5 and the 4 makes it a longer one way than the other. And then lastly, write an equation for a hyperbola. Vertices 4, -7 and -4, -7. So I know the center's right in between there. Many of you would do this without graphing it. I'm going to do a little picture here. 4, -7, -4, -7. So then I can tell from my picture that my center is at 0, -7. And probably most of you could have done that without the picture, because right in between those is 0, -7. But the picture helps me because now I know that it's a left-right hyperbola. What does that mean in terms of the equation? X comes first. So x squared over something minus y plus 7 squared over something equals 1. Oh, I think I know the something under x. It's 4 left and right, so 16, 4 squared under the x. Foci of, well, that's just a way of telling me that c squared is 97. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 16 plus b squared equals 97. So b squared equals 81. And then let's double check and make sure we answered the right question, because I almost missed that on number 5. Write an equation. Yes, I did that. So again, nothing new today, just do you know everything well enough to manipulate and be thinking about left, right, up, down, long, short, major, minor, vertical, horizontal, a squared plus b squared versus a squared minus b squared. So again, nothing new today, just lots of pieces to put it all together.